Welcome back. And the international situation, Kherson, there's been a lot of talk about this famous hydroelectric dam. If it gets blown up, um, NATO will intervene, just waiting to intervene. Um, Judging how on military speaking, we have NATO in Poland with their forces getting ready. Belarusia is getting ready, and there's been a lot of NATO manoeuvres building up in these regions, and hence why Putin executed another order to have all the shelters prepared and all the medical facilities transferred underground in these shelters. It's become a very, very serious thing. And practically NATO is on full alert in Europe. Let's say it's DEFCON 2, even America as well. They're just waiting for the right moment for what? To attack. And there's that geezer, don't know what his name is. It's one of those top brass, I think Pentagon and Warhawk things, and they're saying they have to stop Russia, destroy Russia. What what type of speech is that? What do you want to mean by that? You're ready for war. You're waiting for the moment of the war to engage. Strange thing is, the Heritage Foundation report, which compiles a report which evaluates the very type of parameters about the state of health of military forces. In brief, it's not in good shape. It's not battle ready or have a quality standard of military personnel trained for a certain intervention. And also, there are countries which have been launching, who have their citizens in Ukraine still, tell them to evacuate immediately. The only Western country which launched a so-called appeal was the Italian government. It said to them, to their citizens, I think it was the 19th of October, or even before, get out of Ukraine because something's going to happen. Well, they're not going to say something's going to happen, but they tell you due to a political situation is very critical. And you've seen the air raids over Kiev and other cities of the western part of Ukraine. Practically, their infrastructure is collapsing. Obviously, the Russians are building up their forces in on the border with Belarus, and those four regions they have, adopted, which is a part of the Federation of Russia now, and any moment now, probably November, the Battle of Kherson could commence. Well, there are stories of troops building up and advancing of what is the remainder of the Ukraine military. They gathered up all what they got, and they're thrown against the Russians. And this, despite the risk of this bridge I should say, the dam being blown up by. They're accusing each other, but Ukraine and the Western Collective, they have more interests of blowing this dam up. Will be an excuse for NATO to applicate Article 5, not directly, because if the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power station hasn't have enough water to cool these fuel rods of the power station, which is, no, don't know what was it put on standby or probably switched off. This could cause an explosion, a fire, and could create a nuclear cloud. And Article 5 only, as the NATO say, comes into force if this radioactive cloud passes into NATO territory. And there are people, they are betting for a war, a nuclear war, even if they use, low-yield tactical weapons, for example, if that's the scenario. But things can come out of hand pretty fast. And throughout history, from the Cold War until now, there has been incidents. The West and East run a risk of going to war, especially this type of war, nuclear war.